วัสดีค่ะ เฮ้ยเฮ้ย สวัสดีค่ะเดี๋ยวอ้ำขออนุญาตแชร์ไลฟ์ก่อนนะจ๊ะไปดูซิเรียกแขกนะคะเรียกแขกum, en minut till อีก1 นาทีนะจ๊ะ så โอเคค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะเฮ้ยเฮ้ยสวัสดีค่ะ วันนี้เราจะพูดภาษาอังกฤษกับภาษาสวีเดนนะคะกันนะคะ ยินดีต้อนรับทุกๆคนที่เข้ามาแล้วนะคะ ก็วันนี้อย่างที่เขียนเลยค่ะหน้าโพสต์นะคะว่าวันนี้เราได้เพื่อนร่วมงานของแอมนะคะคุณครูลินียะนะคะมาคุยกันสำหรับใครที่มี Clubhouse ก็สามารถเข้ามาได้เลยนะจ๊ะมาแจมได้เลยนะจ๊ะเข้ามาด้วยกันเลยแอมขออนุญาตแชร์เล็กน้อยเพื่อเรียกแขกนะคะไปแล้วโอเคค่ะโอเคค่ะ Hello ลินียะ Hey Hello
Hey,
Hey how are you
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, I think I have problem with my internet. I would gonna take it like that. Yes, so welcome everybody here. So we are here with Swedish for Thai, and as I mentioned, I think it's on Sunday that we are actually very glad, or I was very thankful that you coming and join us today with the Clubhouse. And as is said, there is tips and tricks learning Swedish. So I hope that this conversation that we have at the moment now will actually giving the listener and audience something back for people that is interested in learning Swedish. โอเคนะคะยินดีต้อนรับนะจ๊ะใครเข้ามาแล้วแชร์เลยนะคะ Okay, yes, so Linnea, so I would like you to present yourself first. Who are you? What are you doing at the moment? And so on and so forth. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, for now I'm a teacher in Swedish as a second language for adults. So I also teach just Swedish, but now it's Swedish as a second language.
Yes, and how long have you been doing this as a teacher, teaching Swedish?
Swedish for 10 years and Swedish as a second language for about 4 years.
Okay, and you are Swedish also.
Yes, I'm Swedish.
Yes,
Born and raised.
yes. Born and raised in Sweden. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we see here you have been teaching like 10 years plus.
Yes.
Yes, and about the education before a Swedish also person will become a Swedish teacher. Do they need to go to some kind of special educational or stuff like that?
Oh, do you need you mean Swedish as a second language or?
Yes, yeah, both
Yes,
like a normal Swedish teacher. Yes,
yes,
if you can
yes,
just tell us later about, yeah.
yeah, you need to go like 5 years in college.
Oh,
Yes,
wow. So it's quite long the education years
yes,
to actually entitle, because we have something like here that we call legitimation or behörig. Is
yes.
this any difference between the teacher that don't have the license, maybe what is called in English, the license for the teacher, well, what do you call, can anybody become a teacher in Sweden teaching Swedish? Because we notice that, for example, for SFI or Swedish for invandrare, we see that many Thai, in this case, saying that they have got not a really Swedish teacher in
Uh,
that part.
yeah, if you want to be a teacher and have like a diploma, you need to go to college, but you can teach just the subject, like the subject Swedish as a
Okay.
second language. But you need to um, read some courses at college. So
Okay.
you need to have
Okay.
yes, a college diploma. But if you want to work and uh, sätta betyg an,
Yeah, it's just like what you call giving out the grade, giving out the grade.
yes,
Yeah.
then you need to
Yes.
have a diploma.
Okay. So that is a different. So if you don't have the license or what is called behörig or legitimation, legitimera,
Yes, yes,
yes, then you can teach, but you cannot give the grade.
yes, that's correct.
Yes. Okay. That was the different. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So now we have like how many? We have like 40, 50 people. I usually sending live quite late, but today we come a little bit early. But thank you so much for your time, Linnea. Yeah, so we go to the next. What we said, Linnea? I don't remember what I'm gonna ask you anymore. Yeah, we see here. What was our list that
Yeah,
we talking about? What
yes.
was the
If you
second?
need to
Yep.
learn Swedish,
Yep.
is it enough to learn English? And then I want to say that Sweden is a very small country, and Swedish is the only official language in Sweden. So
Hmm.
many people can talk English very well in Sweden, and you can be understood in English. But if you want to work in Sweden and you want to build a future in Sweden, it's important to learn the Swedish language. And if you want to
Okay.
be integrated and if you want to get Swedish friendships and so on, the language is the key. So it's
Okay.
hard to
Mm.
live here if you don't know the Swedish language.
Okay. So because there is like some kind of the misunderstanding that, oh come on, this Sweden, everybody can speak English. Why should I learn Swedish? Is this so? It's not important. I don't need it. But as you mentioned, Linnea, as if you are planning to live here in Sweden, work, spend your life, spending your time, and be here for real, then Swedish is utmost important, in your opinion.
Yes, and
Yes.
because Swedish is our mother tongue, so it's uh, it's easier for us to talk Swedish.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
yeah, it's the
And
key.
okay, and I was thinking about like if you are living in Stockholm or Malmö or Gothenburg or where is the big cities, maybe you can get away with just speaking English or use English as a language, but it will not also maybe some guys like special companies and stuff like that, but you cannot really integrate as you said, you
No,
cannot be part of the society maybe.
no,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. So what now we go to the next question. What was the we that I was preparing? We see
Uh,
here.
I'm gonna
Hello
check.
everybody. โอเคค่ะยินดีต้อนรับทุกๆคนนะคะถ้าเข้ามาแล้วนะคะถ้าเข้ามาในแชทนะจ๊ะก็เขียนคอมเมนต์ไว้ได้นะคะวันนี้ขออนุญาตพูดภาษาอังกฤษนะจ๊ะกับภาษาสวีดิชนะคะโอเคthe next question what was it yes mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe you already mentioned that it was like why do you need to study and learn Swedish when you're planning to living in Sweden? So you already mentioned that because it is a mother language and there is like the first language that everybody use for in Sweden. Okay, next
Yes.
questions. Is this
Yeah.
many people said that English, Swedish, what is the difference in the term of you are the teacher, the language teacher teaching Swedish for real,
Yeah.
and
We have
between
a pair of very difficult vowels. So
mm,
we have the o, a, that is quite
okay,
different from the English. We
mm,
have some uh, pronounce problems maybe with the she sound that can
Mm-hmm.
be very different, and there's plenty of them, and you pronounce them different, and you spell them different, and that's the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But if you look in the as a grammar, we know that English has some kind of what do you call the structure that they made of a sentence. But
Yes.
in Swedish, it's not really the same, or is
No,
similar.
no,
No.
no. The name of a verb,
Mm-hmm. The verb, yeah.
yes, the verb, that's always at second place in Swedish.
Okay.
So that's a difference. And
Okay.
we also have bestämd form. Yeah,
The like
yeah,
yeah.
in double places sometimes. So that's different. We have not causes, different causes that they have in
Mm-hmm.
English and stuff like that. So if you can speak English well, you might find out that we have words and we have many things that's similar,
Mm-hmm.
and it's easier to learn Swedish, I think, if you can speak English well, but they are quite differences as well.
Okay, okay. So as for example, in English, yeah, you have a and an, like
Yes,
but in Swedish you have n or et.
yes,
But it's not really quite the same, I think, because if you if we talk about the language as a language, then we see that a and n in English they have actually the rules for that.
yes, yes, and we don't
But
have that.
N and et in Swedish. So do you have? I get a lot of question from Thai. It must have be some kind of rules because we need to learn this. So
Yes,
and any rules? Which word we should use n and which one we should use et?
yes, and there
Are
are
the,
no rules, so
there
you
are no
need to
rules.
know. So you just need to listen and learn them by reading and listening and yeah,
Okay.
spell them.
So you just have to remember
Yes,
that there
but
is no
there are
rules.
more words that are N words uh, and less words that are et words.
Okay. Yes. So, but if we say like this, if I'm now the beginner to study Swedish, and then if I use n or et wrong, will you people, Swedish people, understand me anyway?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So everybody don't get panic. They understand the Swedish people. They understand us even we use it wrong. Okay, so here come the next question because when we learn English anyway in Thailand, we really think okay, grammar it has to be like this and that and this. We have to be very correct. But in real life, some people can write very good, but they cannot speak very good. And sometimes when we speak, we don't really follow the grammar in the same when we're sitting and writing and stuff like that. So if we say that if a person who actually trying to communicate in Swedish, we say a Thai that come here and they are not allowed, she or he cannot really like very good with the grammar, but they're trying to pronounce, trying to say the word, or trying to build a sentence. Maybe it's wrong, it's huvudverb, it's the clause, the main, the whatever. Will the Swedish people understand anyway? Or
Yes, we do. We have a lot of different cultures, a lot of different languages in our country, so it's not a problem for us. The main thing is that you try, and you need
mm,
to be brave and talk the language, uh, and then it's becoming easier for you to learn the language. So we are kind people.
okay, Oh, that's great. That's great. So actually, I would say that try and try to pronounce it, because I know anyway in Thai we don't have, there are many sound in Thai or in English that we have to actually imitate, mimic
Mm.
to, so it's you Swedish, yeah, people can actually understand us. Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay, okay. So, if anyone has any questions, then feel free to just lift the hand and saying, I have a question, and so on and so forth. Otherwise, we're sitting here and I'm asking Linnea for some more question. Okay. สำหรับใครที่นั่งอยู่ในไลฟ์นะจ๊ะบน Facebook ก็สามารถที่จะเขียนนะคะคำถามมาได้ด้วยนะว่าสนใจอะไรยังไงแบบไหนนะคะ Okay, so we move it here. Just raise the hand and then I will let you speak in case anyone have any questions. Okay, so here's the thing. You are now teaching uh, svenska som andraspråk, which is for Swedish as a second language for foreigner, can we say, or
Yes,
yeah, student that us like Thai people or other country that is not born Swedish, let's say like
yes.
that. Um, what do you see? What is the biggest also problem for a foreign student when it's concerning learning Swedish in your level? Is it gymnasiet, in that
Y-
high school level?
Yeah. Often they are quite good writers,
Okay.
but it's the pronounce that are difficult. And for Thai, it's some difficult with some of the letters to pronounce them, and for Arabic people, it's different
Mm-hmm.
letters that are hard to learn, and it's different. But the
Okay.
pronouncement is uh, very hard, and it's the vowels that are hard, like o, and so on. That's all difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
hardest problem. But they are quite good writers, but it's the grammar that's tough
Mm.
sometimes, with in which way the words are going to be spelled and things like that. So
Mm.
that's the hardest thing to learn.
Okay. Yes. Ah, okay. And when we talk about, now we are not talking about SFE or the Swedish for immigrant in the beginning, but we are now talking about student that is actually past grund or grad school for adults, let's say like that. And you are now teaching in gymnasiet, right?
Yeah,
Like what do
yes.
you call high school or something like that
Yes, so
for the,
the
yeah.
students are quite good at Swedish
Mm,
in the point that they are with me. So they are good in
mm,
writing, they are good in pronouncement. They are good students when they are with me, because they are on a high level of the Swedish
yes.
education. So yes,
Okay, so for just information for people that now maybe studying now SFE, and now they think, yeah, but what is the next step? What we are going to learn? If we said that SFE, then you learn all the letter, the basic stuff with the grammatic, grammar, and stuff, and then you come to the grund,
yes.
then you learn what? Because I noticed it that when you come up to gymnasiet or high school level now, then you don't sit at like en och ett or I'm gonna share böjning.
No,
Now you do
no.
it here to unless something else, right?
Yes, because on that level, I want to see what you can do with all the
Okay.
grammar that you have been teaching before. So then we are reading larger and more difficult books. They are writing longer text. We have um, different types of writing. We have different readings. We have
Mm,
that I want the students to talk in front of their friends,
mm,
and it's a higher level of everything. So on grund, after SFI, it's like year 6 up to year 9 in Swedish
Mm.
school.
Okay.
And after that it's high school. So it's a progress.
Yeah.
So you learn
Mm.
more and more difficult, um, yeah, writing
Mm.
tasks and
So
reading
it's more
tasks.
like the real stuff. Then you need to be able to speak and communicate quite good, and then at
Yes,
the same time,
analyze
mm,
and
yeah. So it's more like that. It's not like sitting and måndag, tisdag, onsdag like that. Now it's another level. Because if I don't misunderstand the whole thing, is that when the student finished or done with you, then they actually have the ability to study further in the university or the
yes,
college. Yeah.
yes,
So it's mean that it's quite and then to be able to continue to study in Swedish school or Swedish university and college, then you have to have quite good Swedish
yes.
out,
You have to
right?
be reading Swedish for as a second language 1,
Mm?
2, and 3.
Okay, and that is how many terms or how many was
Oh,
that
that's
the whole thing?
different between schools, but we have 20 weeks. Each course is 20 weeks, but you have schools that you can read 10 weeks and 5 weeks. So
Okay.
if you have a good study technique, maybe you are um, having a long maybe you have been reading to the university before, maybe
Mm,
you can speak different languages
mm,
already, then it's easier to learn a new language. So
okay. So
if
it's
you are
actually
fast,
there is not really like fixed that okay you have to study 3 years before you are done with the Swedish that you want to continue to the university, but it's depend on how you are and how you study and how you what do you call how
yeah,
you
yes,
uh,
what you have been studying before, and if you are bilingual today,
mm,
and so on. So reading a language is a progress, and it's very, very good to know that it's not about weeks.
mm, mm,
It's a process. So it can take months, it can take years. It depends
okay.
on how easy you learn, if you think it's hard to learn a language, what you have been done before, and so on.
Mm, okay. Very good to know because I get questions quite often that how many years I have to do this before I can continue to university and stuff. So now we know that it's actually depend on you, how you are and how much time you put in on studying Swedish. Then if you go faster, then you're done faster and then go further faster. Okay, I have got a question here from Facebook Live in Thai, but I can actually translate. Okay, the question here. I would like to know, is this any kind of like, is it bad that one study or learning languages or language too fast? Will that be any problem in the future? For example, if I study SFE a couple of months and then I continue to Grund, and after that, my teacher just let me go, to, like further to gymnasiet.
No, if you feel that you can speak the language well, and you have a good study technique and all of that, it's not a problem. But some people just want to learn the language very fast, and they think that if I just have the grade, then I can go and work, and then I can
Mhm.
do that. Then when they come to like a workplace or studying another course, and then realize that, oh no, it's not as
Mm-hmm.
good that I thought, that's a problem. But
Mm.
uh,
Okay.
it's so different. But if you feel that you have the knowledge and you know the language well, then it's not a problem, because we have
Mm.
students that are very fast, and we have students that takes a long time. So it's individual.
Okay, because I think in this case, the person that asking to me, this sounds like she feels a little bit insecure for because it's goes so fast. So, but Linnea, I have another question. Often when many Thais that come from Thailand and come here to Sweden, they usually get placed, or what do you call, put it in the C class or C class and all that. And I think that's because of many has the background, or they study more than 6 or 12 years from Thailand, and then
Yes.
they put it in a class that is SIA maybe, or SIA most of the time, and then the student feel like, no, this is too difficult. Can I just not upgrade, but the opposite, the downgrade myself to B class? Can the student request something like that,
Yeah, I think you can
or
do
is
that. Uh,
okay?
and I think the teacher, if they notice that you don't have the knowledge about the language that you need, then it's okay to start like the
Okay.
B course. But C is, uh, like you said, if you have been at school for about 12 years,
Mm,
it's C. So A
okay.
and B is most the part for people who can't read or can't
Mm,
write.
mm, mm. Okay, so there is possibility. You just have to check it with the teacher if there is any possibility. But most of the time, I think as we work together and we work as well with the SFE teachers, so they usually know also which student in which level, how fast, how slow, and all that. But I don't know,
Yes.
maybe it's a different school and different situation and all. Yes, thank you very much, Linnea. Are there any? I see this is many of my friends on Facebook. Can anyone ask anything? Otherwise, we have Swedish teacher sitting here with us. Come igen, come on. Just
But I can
raise
say
the hand.
something.
Yes, yes.
I can say something.
Mm,
It's easier to learn the language if you live in the country and you are surrounded by native speakers. It's more difficult if you live in Thailand and you're going to learn
mm,
Swedish, but then you have to download apps. Maybe they can check out your YouTube. Uh,
mm,
you need to be more creative if you live in another country and are going to learn another language, but it's very easy to live in the country. You are surrounded by the language all the time. You can
mm,
speak with Swedish people. You can look at Swedish television. You can listen to Swedish music. It's easier. So
mm.
uh, that's very
Yeah.
important. So if you don't live in the country, you need to be creative, and maybe you're going can get like language friends.
Mm,
I think I saw a room here on Clubhouse that you can speak with native speakers and
mm,
learn Swedish, so
mm.
you can
Perfect.
found
Yes.
that.
Just because you mentioned that, there is another question that came up here, and it said, I am studying SFID kurs now, and hopefully we do the slutprov, the final proof, final test, and finish in 2 weeks. Altogether 7 months in SFE, but I think my Swedish is still not very good. Do you have any recommendations to develop or getting better with my Swedish to be more fluently? You
It's
just
hard.
mentioned a little bit before.
Yes, and it's hard now because we have the corona.
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
but in many libraries they have like the red cross, the old
mm.
people that love to learn
Yeah, yeah.
foreigners the
Mm,
language. So to find someone that can speak to you, that can give you tips, that can correct you with the grammar, and maybe Clubhouse can help her
yes.
now when it's corona. But it's all about um, path in the language.
mm, mm.
So you need to be
Yes.
surrounded in any different ways.
Mm, mm. Yeah, but as you mentioned, it's tough now when is the restrictions and the everything with the corona and everything. Otherwise, they usually have like språkvännen or
Yes,
språkcafé, language,
yes.
and then
But
there
now
is
you can find,
elder. Mm,
yes, now you can find that here on Clubhouse. You have a
mm.
språkcafé here. So
Which is
it's easier.
Linnea is the
No,
host.
no, it's not me.
Yes,
Maybe we
yes.
can
So
fix
there.
that.
Mm. Yeah, if you have time, I think many Thai maybe now sitting at home and wanna learn the language because I actually see there is like a was a German language club that they trying to practice or Spanish. Why not
Yes.
Swedish? And I haven't seen any Swedish like Swedish in that, or maybe just me. But anyway, so that was a very very good idea because we can actually practice and talking Swedish here. Yes. Now I was just wondering, Kun Ang, do you have any question? น้องน้ำผึ้งคะ I have a Facebook friend. She's actually a doctor.คุณนางขออนุญาต
Oh.
เปิดใหม่ได้ไหม? She's doing the what do you call forskning research about the prostate cancer. I don't want to say anything more,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure. Then I have to actually invite in her. คุณนางคะ So this is one
Hey,
of I was very proud to be Thai with her, even I'm not a doctor.
hey.
Hey,
Hi,
I
สวัส
hey.
ดีค่ะ
I
คุณ
just
อัง
I just wanna sit and observe because my house is very chaos now. Two boys screaming and one big boy try to yell. So yeah.
Okay. So I,
Mhm.
I just very quick,ค่ะคุณอัง so just introduce yourself. I'm really proud of you. So I just want to share this with the world. What are you
Oh,
doing now? What do you
so
do?
I'm a researcher in the Umia University and the Northern, what you call that, University Shoe Hoods. Maybe
อุนิเวอร์ซิตี้ at Cool yeah.
yeah. So I'm not good pronounce for that word. Yeah. Hmm.
But you are doing about the cancer, the
Yeah,
research, or
I'm
the real
working
doctor.
the prostate cancer in field of imaging. The my technique is about the PET MRI. Do you know MRI, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Data
So
tomography, tror jag. Ja.
yeah, so I'm the pathologist merge between science and the what you call the doctor world together. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you ค่ะขอบคุณค่ะคุณนางขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
But Linnea, like this, people that have very like not only Thai, but like from other country that like engineers, a doctor, or a researcher and all that, do they have to sit and study like uh, like normal people now they class now play slit no like all those high education, do they have like um
We
smart
have we have
people?
different yeah,
Mm,
we have a few schools in Sweden that are like SFI or grund for educated people, like for doctors, for
mm,
yeah, different schools.
mm.
So then you can learn the language a bit faster, and you learn like the vocabulary for uh,
Okay.
yes,
So it's
these
it's more
words
like
that you have.
in just, yeah, that field, that branch, that branchen that they're gonna use.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay ค่ะน้องน้ำผึ้งค่ะ so we have another young Thai YouTuber vlogger in
Oh,
Sweden อาจารย์แนะนำตัวเลยหนู
Sawadee Piem. Hey, Linnea.
Hey.
I would like to ask you about the trick, or because I'm going to study Gunspor. I don't know, like Swedish
Yeah,
for
grund.
yeah, Gun. Yes. Do you have any good trick, or do you have any exercise book for us that going to study Gunspor soon?
Yes, it's very different between different schools, which books you need to have. but I used to say that reading is the key. So if you read a lot, you get a bigger vocabulary, you can learn the grammar. Um, Reading is a very, very good thing, and you can read different types of text. You can write read the magazines, books. You can read like lättläst. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I know. It's the easy
Yes,
reading
yes,
textbooks.
these reading books. That's a good thing. Um, and I don't know just like books for grund, but I think your teacher is going to tell you which book you are going to use because it's very different between different schools.
โอเคค่ะ
Okay, but
จ้า
what book would you recommend to your student, for example? Like which book did you teach at school, at your school?
but Linnea det var länge nej ตบปาก3 ทีปุ๊บ it was some times ago that you actually teach grund, right? Now you are just
Yeah,
doing the
the teachers that have grund now in my school, they use grundhjulet, and that's a okay book. I think it's good. Uh, and I think they also use what's the name of that book?
form of focus eller
Yeah,
sån,
but that's a grammar book, and
the grammar one.
that's okay. Yeah, the green one, Formi Focus Bild. That's the green one, and
Yes.
that's a good grammar book.
What do they have for the outside reading? Skönlitteratur och stuff like
Yes,
that.
and it's
You
very
know?
good. And then it's good to read like the easy reading books because on grund it can be difficult to read like a bigger difficult books. But maybe you can go to the library and ask them for like a book for not children, but between like 15, 16. So they are not childish, but the language is a little bit easier.
It's like ungdomböcker that
Yes.
you're thinking about for a teenager or those.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
โอ
good.
เคนะคะน้องน้ำพึ่ง
And discuss with each other, and don't be afraid to talk and discuss with others. And I think the easiest and the best way to learn is to just talk to other students, discuss the task that you've been given, and just talk about what you have been learning. I think that's a good study technique.
โอเคค่ะ thank you. Linnea, I think anyone want to say something more? This is the first time, so we are a little bit like yes, Linnea, now I have a few questions before we finish this talk today. So there is a problem with the ljud. So SG
Yeah, the
och sen
sound. Yes.
Do you have any tips or tricks for just that sound?
Oh, it's difficult because they sound alike, but the spelling is very difficult. And I think it's the same with the N and et. You just need to learn the different spelling because it's very hard. And there are a few rules, but it's the easiest way is to get a good grammar book and just teach every sound one by one because it's very difficult.
Okay.
That's the most difficult part, I think, for many students in learning Swedish.
Yeah. And again, it's actually the dialect from the different part as well, because I see that when Stockholm people, there's like choklad.
Yes, it can be
And a choklad, and then it's very confusing sometimes when the new student with the dialect. What do you have for dialect from
me?
Yes, you.
Oh, it's mixed.
It's mixed.
It's
Hybrid. Yeah.
mixed.
Where are you
Yes.
from originally in Sweden?
From the region Småland.
Småland. Yeah. Anyone
Yes.
living in Småland now? So just say hey, Linnea.
Yeah.
On the comments. Now we have a lot of Thais for followers around the world.
Yes.
Yes. Are there any more question or tips and tricks that anyone want to share or stuff like that? Otherwise, now we have 40 minutes. Time flies. So no, I
Yes.
think everybody a little bit shy. ใครคะ yes ใคร yes มาไม่มีหูฝาดหูแว่วโอเคค่ะ Tack så hemskt mycket Linnea. Verkligen.
Ja, tack.
Vi kan köra lite på svenska nu på slutet. Så nej, men det är väldigt givande och vi får se om vi kan göra flera gånger. Som du nämner ju att
Ja,
om
och
vi
vi kanske
har
kan
rum.
ha lite mer språkcafé. Så att man kan få träna på sin svenska och då kan jag ju rätta uttal till
Nej men
exempel.
titta.
Ja.
Oj, oj, oj. Det är väldigt, väldigt, väldigt snällt av dig för att vi behöver svensk att sitta med oss och sen säga hej du, den här var ja.
Ja, och man
så.
kanske vill ta upp studiefrågor. Det kanske är en uppgift man har fått som man inte förstår.
Just det.
Man kanske har ett problem som man vill ha svar på. Ja.
Ja, men den där är toppen bra. Om vi kan faktiskt bara avsätta en tid att okej, i alla fall jag vet att många som följer mig på Swedish for Thai, de har ju massa frågor kring bara språk själva. Oj, som förra gången när jag frågade varför det är en grammatik. Men varför använder man inte så där sakerna som jag inte själva svenskfödd, jag har ingen aning. Så det kan vara toppen bra om du och jag, eller om du har tid senare i framtiden att ha ett sånt där språkcafé eller något sånt.
Precis.
Precis. Yes. No more question. Nej, någon räckte upp handen. Aha. Så,สวัสดีจ้าน้องพีท Hej hej, hallå.
Hej Linnea och hej Pien.
Hej!
Hej! Det var ju väldigt, jag hörde att ni hade idé att ni skulle ha, eller Linnea skulle ha språkcaféer. Och jag tänker på att jag kanske var med när ni gör oss upp en tid.
นางฟ้า ängel.
Ja, absolutely.
Vad skönt.
Ja.
Nej men toppen. Vi behöver någon Pete, hur länge du var det inte du född? Nej.
How long have been in Sweden? 20 years. I came
Ja,
here
det
when I
hör vi.
was
Det är jättebra.
Tack. I came here when I was 11 years old and I went to college here in Sweden.
เห็นไหมโถ
So
ดีงาม toppen ขอบคุณค่ะน้องพีทถ้าอย่างนั้นถ้าจำเดี๋ยวก็ลากมาเนาะเดี๋ยวไปตั้งนะคะถ้าใครเห็นดีเห็นงามก็อย่าลืมบอกนะอมนอกอน if anyone ผู้ใดเด้ออันว่าโอ้ดีจังเลยว่าอันว่าเปิด
I
ห้อง
vote
อะ
for
เนาะ
that. Yeah, I vote for that.
Ja, men vi får se Linnea för att jag vill inte heller alltså om det tiden och allting och du vet du har mycket i och
Nej,
jag har
men
mycket
alltså
så.
en kväll, alltså en dag i veckan är absolut inga problem. Och kan vi då få hjälp här lite så vore det toppen.
Ja men det är jättebra. แล้วน้องพีทก็มาด้วยก็ perfect เลยนะคะสำหรับใคร om det finns någon som kan svenska och tänkte att den kan vara bra så får ni gärna vara med och bidra och hjälpa varandra att förbättra vår svenska för de nyanlända
och
eller
om det är
de som
någon
vill
om någon har lyssnat nu och vill lägga till någonting och som kanske har någonting som, men det där har Linnea inte tagit upp och det hjälpte mig till exempel när jag lärde mig svenska, så får ni jättegärna säga det.
Ja, bra. Och du är riktig lärare också. Då är kanske får man en annan vinkel eller synpunkt när det gäller inte bara någon som kanske pojkvän eller en man som sitter hemma men du
men
du har ditt
precis.
yrkes
Så,
att ja.
ja, och sen är jag ju mer bekväm i svenskan såklart än engelskan.
Ja, nej, men jag tänkte idag så får vi faktiskt lite grann men jag tror att en del fattar syfte idag och hoppas att många är intresserade av att vara med. Yes, โอเคค่ะมีใครมีอะไรอีกไหมEcho เองเลยนะจ๊ะคุณพลอยไพลินนะคะ skrev nice med språkcafé ser fram emot det så bra โอเคค่ะมีอีกคำถามLinnea sista här
Ja.
frågan. Jag tar den på svenska, skitsamma. Så här det står att jag undrar om, alltså man studerar just nu när det är covid-utbrott och sånt. Många studerar ju distans eller online.
Ja.
Jag undrar hur det går med undervisning och sånt. Är det någon skillnad från
Ja,
normala, alltså på plats? Och...
Om vi säger så här, det beror väldigt mycket på vilken skola man går på. Vissa har ju lektioner på Zoom till exempel, schemalagt. Jag har inte det, för jag har så många elever som jobbar och gör andra saker, så jag gör helt på distans. Men det jag gör då är att jag erbjuder handledning både på plats och på Zoom eller Teams. Jag har inspelade instruktioner till varje uppgift. Så jag försöker att ge eleven så liknande undervisning som möjligt, även fast vi inte kan träffas lika ofta. Men det som de flesta saknar är att få prata svenska.
Just det. โอเคนะคะคำตอบเขาตอบไปเมื่อกี้นะคะ ถ้าไม่เข้าใจบอกแอมแปลให้หน่อยเดี๋ยวแอมมาแปลให้แล้วกันนะโอเคค่ะ ja ingen fler frågor ไม่มีคำถามนะจ๊ะ no more bet เอามาโอเคdå så du tycker jag vi kan avsluta den här och jag tackar så jättemycket Linnea.
Ja, tack själv.
Verkligen. Och sen vi får höra av oss och sen sprider jag vidare när vi börjar med språkcaféet och sånt där. Så alla som ställer upp så är välkomna. Yes.
Det ser vi fram emot.
Ja, då så. Tack för idag. Hej då.
Hej då.
Hej då.